All right, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome on back. Continuing along our Thursday. Man, we've been doing great today. Great this week altogether, though. And welcome on back for our afternoon meeting here live in the Cyber Group room and, of course, streaming on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube here, guys. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. We don't have class this afternoon, but I want to go quick because, like I said, we've had a great day today. I don't want to do too much talking. I want to do a lot more trading. So great to see everybody, though. Mark, Michael, Donnie, Jordan, Jerry, John. The M's and the J's there trying to trip me up. William, Grant, Lewis, Bonnie, Arthur, and might I say, all of our new trial members that have joined us just today. We've just done 2 different events here at Cyber Trading University. So for all of our new trial members joining us today for the first time, welcome on aboard. What I'm actually going to do, just at least in our live trading room, is just repost a message for all new trial members, just popping their head in today for the first time. Keep in mind, your main line of contact here at CTU is your education advisor. So upon signing up for the trial, you should have received an email just with contact information towards your education advisor. They'll look to call you and they'll look to schedule a time to run down everything that you would need to know about the trading room, what's involved with the trial, and just everything else with Cyber Trading University. They're there to field any questions and just help you out along the way. All right, guys. So welcome on aboard. With that in mind, you're kind of diving right into a fast market, especially heading into the end of this Thursday. So let's hop into it. I just posted a moment ago. I said it looks like the Dow is trying to break higher here, and well, for what it's worth, it did. I don't know if there's any specific news that came out. This is a pretty sharp drop right now, pulling back just about 40-50 points, it seems like. So for right now, guys, we've been following the market and we'll look to continue doing so, but we've seen a lot of stocks just cruise up and up and up all throughout the day today. So just to begin, wasn't one that we were focused on right at 9:30 as much, but the stock play, PLAY, Dave & Buster's, it had a lot of activity in pre-market. It's a stock that we kind of have on our quote-unquote side list, and it did well yesterday. But, of course, as you guys can see here, only continued pushing up after the open. So sans a little dip, it ended up moving up near perfectly from 17, essentially, resistance that we had from pre-market, all the way up steadily, essentially up to 18, then 19, then now here 20 and above. So, for what it's worth, going into the afternoon, it's hard to go against this trend, so to say, right? We certainly don't look to do that here at Cyber Trading University, but for right now, we will look to keep this going on the way up towards seemingly the next resistance, the high of the day, $20.50. I don't know if there was a bigger order on the ask there earlier, but only about 6,400 shares, so it might just blow right through this here coming up. Let's see. Again, I don't want to do too much talk, and I want to make this a quick meeting just because not just Dave & Buster's here. We have so much else that's moving here. So, we're going to put play on our watch list. Fausto just called this out a moment ago, so I'm jumping in and out. I think Fausto picked up like 35, 40 cents on that trade. He wrote in the chat board, he said out on play. This was at 225, and he picked up 37 cents alongside Ben, a few of our other traders live in our trading room. All right, guys, so keep it going. We're going to see if this can break higher right now. And, hey, God forbid, and I have to say this, guys, just because, as day traders, we do take opportunity based on the trend in the market. If this goes, for any reason, the complete other way, then it is a shortable stock, right? So, there is plenty of opportunity on this. Of course, we're following this on the way up mainly. But, if the markets turn, if we tend to see this begin to slow down and pull back, it is up for options there. The short on the way down, perhaps play. So we'll start off by putting this one right away on our watch list. We had plenty of others, though, like I'd said, and we'll begin by going through the main CTU morning list. And I want to start off with one that we kind of kept our eyes off here for a bit. It's still pretty volatile. The Genius trade, GNUS. Now, I had egg on my face yesterday. I did this afternoon meeting with you guys yesterday, and I told you that. I said going into the open, although it was on our morning list, and of course Fausto ended up being right, as he usually is, I personally thought it was going to pull back more yesterday. And at the market open, GNUS just lifted off like a rocket. So I missed out on the big move, at least at the open. I told you guys I was going into it throughout the afternoon, at least, as it broke higher. But the reason I said that yesterday is because of pretty much what had happened today. Now, if you think too much like a pessimist, you're not going to be able to get into a trade, right? But GNUS was not the only stock we were trading yesterday, and it's not the only stock we were trading here today. So, of course, after this tailed off and tanked and got halted a few times on the way down, for as much as it dropped, it did create some bit of a bounce and a good opportunity, as we would call a dead cat bounce, so to say. For right now, I'm certainly not going to put this on our watch list. Me personally, I didn't catch the bounce on this. Normally, when a company gets halted on the way down, I'm pretty much just done with it. And of course, it did provide good opportunity if you were able to catch it perhaps around 5. But nevertheless, at this point right now, the stock has just kind of exhausted itself out at this point. Again, still trading in about 20, 30, 40 cents, in a range perhaps. But right now I'd like to find other opportunity, like Play. Of course, Play's on our list already, but stocks like Play, we'll see if there's anything trending a lot better. All right, so GNUS, the other one, unfortunately, was more of a bust here this morning. It was a great pre-market trade, and after the open, it did run up slightly, but CIDM, same thing happened, right? For as much as this round yesterday, and of course in the pre-market here, we would expect a stock like this to pull back at the market open. It ended up popping, so this had the strength of the uptrend that it had to break out once the market opened at 9:30, but shortly after, as we typically expect, if it doesn't tank right away and if it pops right off the bat, well, at that point, it's going to break down, right? So that's exactly what happened on the CIDM trade. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to pull back and continue to fill the pre-market gap there. All right, guys, really quick, we just went over Play. I just wanted to let you guys know I got alerted from Benzinga Pro that this broke over 2050. So new high of the day on Play, and I also just got pinged on another one here. We're probably going to be able to go through a few just right from my alert system, my alert system, Benzinga Pro. But AAL, American Airlines, another new high on this stock. We've been calling and trading this going into the early to mid-afternoon, and we'll continue to do so here. So beautiful rounded bottom. It seems like around that 1450 level. The volume died off there for a bit, and we wouldn't necessarily expect this to make a second big run as it had from the morning going into the close, but here we are. So, right now, American Airlines, AAL, I'm sure the rest of the airlines entirely, but we'll just go through them here quickly. Delta, DAL, not nearly as strong. 3250, I mean, it's setting itself up for a breakout, right? You could see just, same pattern as AAL, but still holding underneath major resistance. 3250 is Delta. UAL has been a sharper moving stock, at least earlier this morning it was. It's failed to break higher so far. Spirit Airlines Save, moving up towards 21, shaking around there, in fact. All right, so you know what? For right now, I have no problem just putting AAL on our list. This thing is just a missile right now, moving up. So next resistance, you would assume off of 17. I don't have my book map up for AAL, so if anyone does, just let us know the size of the iceberg at 17. It's going to be a couple 100,000 shares at least, given the liquidity on the stock for AAL. All right, another one that we traded just before, at least, Hertz, HTZ. And it looks like we're going to continue to trade this one. It's funny, guys, going into this meeting, Fausto's on a call right now. He had messaged me just a few moments ago before I started. He says, you're going to have a lot to talk about for the 2:30 meeting today. I said to him, oh, yes. And then right away after, as I usually tell you guys, I say, I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep this a 10 to 12 stock list maximum. I might have 25 stocks on our list here. And the more I talk about some of these trades that we caught from earlier, we're going to keep these on our list, it seems like. Hertz, another one that broke out, at least this one going into the late morning, early afternoon, right by 12 o'clock Eastern, off $1. Moving up, of course, right now, continuing up towards the high of the day, 187. So Hertz, we're going to put this on our list, and we're going to check in with the other short squeeze stocks, as I would like to say, just at least going into the afternoon. What I mean by that, let's go to LK, Luckin Coffee. Whereas Hertz is continuing, LK is not. So LK was one of the best trades today, guys. I mean, right at 9:30, it started to move up, broke above resistance off of 280, clean move up to 3, steady trend off the lows, and it started to accelerate a lot further once it broke higher from 350. So just taking a look at this trade, it ended up kind of holding nicely at 350. I forgot the size of the iceberg order, but we were talking about 125,000 shares. I think it was a lot more, maybe 170. This thing ended up just breaking right through, though, and as soon as it did, easy run up. I don't toss the E word around too often, guys. You know that, at least for those of us here in the trading room. Day trading is not necessarily easy, especially a very volatile stock, and a lot of these that we've discussed thus far are pretty damn volatile. But off of a level, off of a major resistance like $3.50 here for LK, and based off what we go through in class and study up on, well, if this ends up breaking above 350, it puts you in a fair position right off the bat to be in the plus. Now, to expect an immediate run up to 450 right off the bat, it's tough to expect that. But, of course, with the momentum and the breakout that we had, it took us up to there and a little bit higher up towards almost 5. The LK trade ended up moving up. I think it was like 85% net move today. From that point, made lower highs, and then, as you could see, dragged back down now. Hey, this might be due for a bounce given how far it's dropped off. I don't mind putting this just on the side and coming back to this just at the very end of this meeting. Fantastic trade, at least from earlier today. And alongside LK, let's just check in. I think there was 1 or 2 more, no? You know what we'll do? At this point, we'll go from top to bottom. I do see XBA here. I was going to get to that. That was one of the other ones, but that one was pretty nasty. As much as that one moved up, it tanked like 3 times as fast. So we'll get to that in a moment. So to begin here, just going from top to bottom, guys, the gainers and losers list, the TMDI trade up 202%. Real cheapy here. Popped in pre-market, continued up shortly after the open. I'd say this. I said this before. Normally you wouldn't expect a stock to make a second big squeeze up going into the afternoon. So for what it's worth, this TMDI for right now will pass. VISL, I saw this called out earlier today. I didn't trade this, but it looks like it would have been a beautiful breakout, similar to LK at 350. The VISL at $1. I mean, it's essentially the same pattern, right? It's just the top. I mean, this has the cup and the handle here where it ends up breaking out much higher afterwards. So fantastic run up. I wish I took part in this. I saw a bunch of us, though, jump in for about 12, 15 cents at least. Again, kind of died off, though. Volume died off, and this thing's just trading kind of sideways now. All right, we got the other 2 CIDM off the list, Hertz on the list. And then from here, what we'll do is just let me expand the scanner here. Crazy KZR moved up earlier today, low volume stock, essentially from 650 up to 10, almost 979. Pulled back. I do like that this stock is shortable. So for as much as this stock is still up, perhaps if it craps out the other way and continues to tank, it would be a decent short opportunity. I'll keep this on the side. I like LK a lot more. I'd rather focus on a stock that we've made money on consistently today, like LK at least. So for right now, this one will kind of be on the side. All right, XBA, XSPA. So take a look at this. Ended up popping at the open, ran up nicely, and then, died off a bit. Ended up making a second run back up here. But, hey, literally, like I just said before in the last one, you wouldn't expect a stock like XBA to make, one big move up early in the morning for it to, kind of die off. The volume completely died off, that is. And then to see it make a second clean move up higher, I mean, just the same type of range, it's very difficult to expect. In fact, we got that exact same type of move just on the way down. So the XBOT trade, I mean, it's very volatile. It has a big range just from high to low across the day and across the last like 40, 50 minutes. For right now, I'm going to pass on this. Dolphin Entertainment. We saw this yesterday, right? DLPN. I think this was like the top % gainer going into yesterday at the time. And we didn't put this on our list. It ended up making a small little run up and died off. But of course, as you could see today, made a much bigger move and, well, kind of making the same pattern, at least from yesterday afternoon, dying off right now. So I'm going to pass on this too. Luck and Coffee, LK back up towards 4 right now, $4 major support levels. So, for right now, I mean, I really wouldn't mind throwing LK just back on our main list. We'll go down the rest first, though, like I'd said before. Just check back in on AAL here quick. Chuck says, American Airlines here in our chat board. Chuck wrote, AAL 200,000 share iceberg order at 17, he wrote. I'll tell you, it's not listed through. Up there we go. Now you see it on the matrix there, right? Let's look on level 2. Yeah, most of that, Chuck, is routed through the NASDAQ alone. So that's just through the NASDAQ. What about through other ECNs like the EdgeX, the Batty, the Arca book, of course? So with those in mind, it's going to be a way bigger spike compared to 200,000, but that's just on the NASDAQ alone, right? So maybe we just kind of put airlines entirely on the list. Again, we'll kind of come back to that topic at the very end. ATNM, cheapy, not really worth it. ASNA had a recent pop. I mean, it's kind of choppy up and down. Tupperware store. I love seeing the stock on the gainers list. It's moving up nicely. It's funny because you would think, I mean, for those of us in the trading room, at least, that have been with me for a long time, I mean, I don't really call this one out too often, but for the times that we've seen this on the gainers or losers list, it's actually been a fun trade. So it's not a stock I have on my personal side list as much even, but hey, I like this trend. It's moving up nicely. Tight spread, liquid order book. It's a level 1 to 2 trade, I'd say. So, Tupperware, certainly. The stock was breaking all-time lows going back into the beginning of the year. We were shorting it actually at that time, believe it or not. And for what it's worth, moving back up towards that $5 level going into the afternoon. All right. Let's keep it going, guys. What else do we have? Just keep going down the gainer side. DGLY. Ben's going to laugh at me here. Been obsessed with this trade. I set up a limit order over 180, and I mean, suddenly the thing spiked up and I got filled. So that's more fortunate timing. I like this trade going into the afternoon for the sake that this company, guys, keep in mind, and Fausto spoke about this, I believe, earlier in the week. Of course, unfortunately, with everything going on within the world, we've seen riots like this before, right? And most recently back in 2014, back in Ferguson. And DGLY at the time is a company, and still is, they were the company that produces the body cams for the police. So at the time, we ended up seeing DGLY make a huge squeeze up. And I'll actually go back to the daily chart here just to show. But point being, history, unfortunately, obviously, has a tendency to repeat itself. But in terms of the stock market, you could say the same thing. So this is back from 2014. Stock went from 5 to 30. So I think that alone gives us, some interest on this trade. I like the spike earlier today, earlier in the morning, and for right now, it's still holding pretty nicely. So, this won't make the top of the list, but for right now, this will make it. All right, what else? Let's see. Plug, I think that'll do. On the game, save we'll go through. SAVE, save, come back to this one at least. Still pretty choppy. All right, looks like AAL even broke higher from 17 right now. I'm seeing some profits right now in our trading room. Donnie picked up 14 cents. Look at this thing go. Holy crap, guys. Pardon the language. Donnie just picked up 14 cents. Ben closed out just before 60 cents. Chuck in our chat board got 11 cents. He was commenting to us just earlier. Yeah, I mean, we see the size of the volume spike here alone, guys. Look at this thing. The buying alone is 1.5 mil, and then the profit taking, the selling down volume, so to say, is 1 million alone there. So you'd like to think this stock is pretty heavily traded, but it's hard to resist putting the stock on our list given the trend up. And of course, given the breakout here, it puts us in a good position to take a quick profit. So congratulations to everybody so far, at least. And for what it's worth, again, just focus on the trend, focus on the next resistance ahead. All right, cool. What time is it? 2:48. I got a little bit of time here. Let's go through the losers list here first, see if there's anything else otherwise. SMAR, SMAR. And focus on this too much. Smart sheet dropped off, popped, and then dropped at the open. Big spread. I mean, it's kind of all over the place here. And this one, not really worth it. INUV, as I would say here, a little too close to the ground floor. 50-cent stock. I mean, crazy enough, it's not hard to borrow from TradeStation, but that doesn't mean we're going to short it. So we're going to pass on that for right now. CMTL, maybe a bit of a dead cat bounce here, perhaps. I mean, it's been squeezing up off 17.50. It's up 22 cents from that price. It's down 15% still on the day. You know what? I'll put this one on, at least for right now. CMTL. I don't know how much I'll focus on this one compared to like American Airlines, Play, Hertz, etc. But tradable stock, tight spread, fairly liquid order book, shortable, down big, has some good range. So why not at this point? VREX, on the other hand, not really so much. All right, guys, I'm getting pinged on Benzinga Pro, so don't worry. I got my eye on this. CCL is popping. UAL is popping. I mean, our side list stocks are pretty much going berserk right now. So let's keep it pushing on the losers list. I'll finish up and likely throw a lot of our side list stocks on our list going into the afternoon. This NTLA will make the cut too. So right off the actually, I just stopped myself right in my own tracks. I love the trend. I love the price. I love the tight spread. The volume total, not too bad as well, 1.5 million shares. That meets our volume criteria for what we scan for. But This stock's trading such little volume. I mean, about like 1,500 shares. I mean, it's moving. It's continuing. So if anything, guys, don't focus on like the larger time and sales that you see on my trading platform here. The one on the left-hand side, at least, this one. Focus on this one because clearly it goes to show for the volume the stock is trading, it's running off of much smaller transactions on the tape. But again, nice breakdown here, new low of the day, shortable. So again, why not as well? Now we were kind of focused on this trade Cloudera going into the pre-market today. We were talking about this at the very end of the afternoon, just in our trading room, just earnings going into the morning today or going into the after hours yesterday, rather. Choppy chart, at least early at the open. It is shortable, but for right now, I'm not going to put this on our main list. Maybe if this ends up breaking a new low, I'll get alerted from Benzinga Pro, and then from there we'll be good to try and trade it. But at least for right now, we'll pass. All right. Michael is now saying AAL is over 18. You've got to be kidding me. Whew. Oh my goodness, guys. Let's see what else we got. Ben picked up 55. We got Donnie with another 8 cents. And anybody else still in this trade in our trading room? See, I know Fausto is trading right now because he's silent. It means he's focused on his trades right now. So probably in the next couple minutes, you'll see a post from Fausto here coming up. Chuck says, no, I don't trust my computer, he says, based on the volume. All right, well, fair enough, Chuck, right? That's the experience. All right, so alongside AAL, I was saying UAL, pretty much the side list stocks. Looks like UAL finally broke, right? Save is moving up. I like UAL more than Save as of right now. I think that Save's moved up a little too much the last 2 days. But I just airlines altogether. I'm just going to tag on our list for right now. NCLH on the way up to 20. I'm assuming RCL flying. Ooh, no, RCL is not really. RCL is holding underneath 59. If anything, I might just put NCLH on our list. That's a side list stock. The airlines entirely, I think that sector is pretty strong. Focus also, guys, just for the airlines, this ETF, JETS, JETS. So this is kind of tracing the whole sector, so to say. And, you know, a lot of the airline stocks are moving in line with this. All right. Let me just double post something really quick, guys, for inside our trading room. I don't know if I did this before or not. If I did not just before, then I apologize. I think I said I was going to. So for all new trial members, keep in mind, all new trial members that are joining us just from today's events, I'm going to repost a message here. Just your education advisor is going to reach out to you today or tomorrow just to give you a thorough walkthrough as far as how our trading room works, you know, what's moving, what's going to be on our screens and how it all operates. Our watch list is going to be posted as soon as I'm done with this audio broadcast. We're going to post it right in the chat board here. All right. So anything else, guys? Chuck says Neo moving to 6. I was trading Neo up and down today. I think it's just too heavy volume. Kind of like AAL, but AAL is a lot sharper moving, so we'll focus on that one at least. All right. Dwayne writes in our chat board here, Dwayne S. He says AAL, he was in from 1662 on 1,000 shares, guys. I'm going to go back to AAL and let me get the want to get the sound effect out here. Dwayne just killed it on this trade. Dwayne just entered AAL earlier at 1662. He wrote in the chat board just now. He got out at 1780, guys, and on 1,000 shares as well. So congratulations, Dwayne. My goodness. All right. So for as much as this goes up, you got to expect this to come back down, right? All right, guys. So nevertheless, if there's anything else, guys, let me know right now here in the chat board. That goes for the trading room and, of course, across social media. Can I show Bookmap with LK? I don't have Bookmap open right now. That's from Alexander on YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't have it up right now on my screen. and where we entered. That's as far as the entry. There were multiple entries on LK, and alongside LK, the same to be said for a stock like AAL. Guys, if you'd like to learn more about our trading strategy, about the trading room itself here that I'm referencing, and everything else that we offer at CTU, this goes for anyone streaming across social media. That is, make sure, guys, that you call the phone number down below on the banner, that being 516, or actually rather our toll-free line 877-70-CYBER, and one of our education advisors will pick up and provide more detail. All right, so with that in mind, let me know, guys, anything else? I think that we're good. I want to check this WRTC stock. I just got pinged on this a moment ago from the other day. It's kind of choppy up and down. I'm going to pass on this, I think. All right, guys, so all in all, I mean, a big list. I thought it was going to be a bit bigger given the activity that we've had thus far, and especially going into the meeting. So I'll take it. I think I did a fair job trying to keep it simple. So guys, keep in mind, just for all of us here in the trading room, that is, it's a very active market. If there are stocks that aren't on this list that you've made money on that are moving right now, focus on those. Guys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But otherwise, start and stick with this list here that I'm about to post. All right, guys, this list will give you a very good opportunity to try and focus on stocks that are moving at this very moment, or perhaps coming up across the next hour. All right, guys. So again, like I said, for anyone streaming across social media, make sure that you call us here right at our office line, just if you'd like to have more detail as far as what we offer here at Cyber Trading University. All right, guys, as I always say, let's try and close out this Thursday just as well as we opened it up. Take care.